Hello to all my tarot lovers out there and oracle lovers. This is Nick with the Tipsy Tarot. Today we have a unboxing and a walkthrough of a amazing artist. And what I really like about this tarot deck is it is very Rider-Waite-Smith style, but also with like a hint of Marseilles to it. The Oracle deck is just as gorgeous itself, and it is called Uusi, is the artist. I got the tarot and I got the Supra Oracle with it. In the box came with this amazing bookmark style. It says Tarot by Uusi. He personally wrote thank you on it, which I think is very, very cool. So, you know, something that could be eclectic for you. Use it as a nice bookmark in one of the books as well. You know, have it stick out a little bit if you're reading the books. Diving into the books, basically, Uusi does have a package deal. There is another deck and guidebook that you can get. It is the Marseilles style. Don't correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Or the Tarocchi style. I can't remember. But anyways, there's a whole package you can get of 3 of the books and 3 of the decks. I'm not really fond of using Marseilles or Tarocchi just because I am not as knowledgeable on those style decks than I am with the Rider-Waite-Smith. So I'm not knocking it down. I definitely do want to get into Marseilles and Tarocchi and all of the other Italian and French brands that were made, but Rider-Waite-Smith has always been my go-to, and I definitely do want to venture out in the future, and I think this will be the future of me doing this. I will tell you why in a second. So we're going to start with the tarot. The way that I had to buy it was I bought each deck separately, and you have to buy the guidebook separately as well. The guidebook does not come with the deck itself. So going with the guidebook, it is very, very well illustrated from, obviously I could just see from here. I believe it is in black and white. Yes, it is. But very descriptive on everything. The Emperor is all about leadership in its highest, most exciting form, exacting form. Yes, so it's going to be giving a lot of detail. Has, you know, some keywords at the bottom as well. This deck, I think, the reason why I'm saying Tarocchi and all the other Italian French styles, Marseille for sure, is that this might be my gateway to reading with them a lot easier or with at ease. Because they are very similar to how the Marseille does it, but then you have like some background that kind of symbolizes a little bit of the Rider-Waite-Smith. So it's definitely going to be a little easier for me and for others that are wanting to get into the Marseille style, but not really sure how to go with it. So I think this is a very good beginner deck for someone that wants to get into Marseille as well. Just because it has, you know, little backgrounds and stuff, and there's things hidden in the cards that I feel like, you know, you can depict a little bit better of what the meaning of that card is, instead of just having it be, you know, where it's 6 swords with 1 in the middle and stuff like that. Going with the deck, I did not purchase the case. It came with the case already, just to let you know. And it is got a good like linen feel to it. So I do really, really like that. Going with the box itself, beautiful. It's got some gold foiling on there, as you can see. It tells you like 2016. The box itself is very, very pretty. It even has like a nice texture to it as well. It is a tuck box. I did cut just to make things a little easier for us to do this video. So obviously the box matches the back of the cards. The back of the cards are also linen, which I really like. I'm a sucker for a good linen card stock. It is very, very similar to how I would say US Games does their card stock. You know, it has that really good bounce back, great feel to it. And these cards are just gorgeous. There's a couple foilings and stuff like that. So this deck has a couple Oracle style cards in it as well, along with the tarot. You still get the normal 78 tarot cards, but at the same time, like, for instance, like, here's the full moon. You got the crescent, stuff like that. So, going with the deck itself, I think it's going to be easy to shuffle. It is just a tad bit longer than what I'm used to from a normal tarot deck, but I have big hands, so it's going to be a lot easier for me to shuffle, or very easy in general. Going with the cards itself, I did want to do like a quick little walkthrough with you guys. So you guys have an idea, if you're wanting to get into Marseilles or Tarocchi, I think this is going to definitely be our gateway to liking this deck and reading this deck even more. So there's the Seeker, aka the Fool. You do have the infinity symbol up there. Maybe the Seeker is a different card. I have not read the guidebook. Obviously, you just saw me open it with you, so I guess I have to see what the Seeker is. But there's like some gloss foil on the moon cards. So I'm wondering if like this is going to be through the entire deck, which would be so cool. Okay, so the Seeker is going to be somebody different. See, I was thinking it was going to be more of the Magician because of the infinity sign, but I guess not. I'm going to move that over. So there's the Fool. Obviously, you have the dog here. Got, you know, the rose over here. So going to be very, very easy to understand when it comes to a Rider-Waite-Smith style, right? And then you have the Magician, same thing. I think the major arcanas are going to be a lot easier to understand than the minors themselves. The court cards, from what I was looking at and doing research on, I feel like that they are very also similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's just the minor arcanas that have that twist to them. So there's the Lovers. The beautiful artwork, though. I mean, if we're going to be talking about, you know, artwork that should be in a museum, this artist totally did that. Uusi did an amazing job depicting, you know, some styles that too. You know, there's the lion in there, Justice. So very beautiful deck. The card, I can't get over the card stock. It's gorgeous. I think this is the perfect size for a tarot deck. It's just a tad bit longer and just a little bit wider, but that's what I want in a tarot deck. You know, there's this, you know, faded borderline there, which is pretty cool too. But I'm a sucker for a big deck, only because, I mean, I don't want the decks huge, but this is the perfect size, especially if you're going to be reading other people with this deck. Like, they have a good idea of looking at, you know, these pictures easier and having an understanding. Look at like Justice, okay, so like reviving yourself, or so very, very similar to Rider-Waite-Smith. And then we get into the minor arcanas. Ace of Pentacles, pretty easy to understand usually, right? And then you got the Two of Pentacles, but then you have the water here, so then it shows like some kind of flow and balance, right? So then you have like the Three of Pentacles right here, right? Putting some kind of, you know, it's either like working with someone, transaction, like, you know, something about working together. And then you see like the rocks here kind of being stacked high. So that could be about working together. You have three little trees in the back there. So it is very, very interesting how this artist did the minor arcanas, which honestly, I am needing, I mean, no wonder this guidebook is so chunky. Like, you're going to definitely need to read every single thing about it and just try to understand like why this artist decided to do that. Eight of like, but then again, you have like the Eight of Pentacles right here, right? With the tree, like very, very similar to Rider-Waite-Smith. Okay, you got the bird there. It's just like minus the people. And then you have like the court cards, right? So then you have like the page and the knight, and very, very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith style. So, you know, very interesting. The artwork itself is just gorgeous. It just gives me that medieval time, but like medieval when I come to like a museum painting, if that makes any sense. I know I just said that, but I mean, this deck is just so cool. It really caught my eye, but basically it's just the fact of, since I don't know how to really read a Marseilles deck or a Tarocchi and so many other ones, especially when it comes to Italian cards, I think this is going to be the nice gateway into understanding how that style works, and then be able to go from that. And then hopefully I can get into Marseille, because I keep on hearing that like Marseille decks just have like a different feel to them. The reading style is very different. A lot of people tell me that when they read Marseille, like they get a lot more information, and it's probably because you have to use like your intuition so much more. But I really do want to get into that as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, Rider-Waite-Smith is, you know, my staple, and it's a lot easier for me to use. And I still think that I get a lot of information from it, but I just hear that the way that Marseille decks are just, it's like the classic OG way to read. So like very Rider-Waite-Smith, and then we're getting back into Marseille, right? Just in its own style. The Five of Swords, very similar, you know, like you have someone walking away here, but then you have like, you know, three people that were in the background, okay, moving, right? Movement. So very, very similar in its own little style, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So like here's the Nine of Swords, okay, very similar. The Eight of Swords. See, that would confuse me with the Ten of Swords, right? But then there's the Ten of Swords right there. So it is a very, very lovely deck. I am so excited to get my hands on this. I will make sure that I put the link down in the description box if any of you want to get this deck. But it is so lovely. It is so lovely. So I'm going to put this to a side for a second. So going with the Oracle deck that I got. So this artist named this Oracle deck Supra. And then on the book it says The Hidden Path of an Oracle. So obviously this is a great pairing of a deck to do together with the tarot, but overall this is also an amazing style deck. Going with the guidebook, again, very chunky. It is in black and white. It is very, very descriptive. I can't wait to read this, just because I feel like that this is going to give you a higher intuitive reading with your decks. It is very universal. I think that you can definitely use this with the Rider-Waite-Smith style, just because of how it's created, or a Marseille, or even if it's just like your modern decks, you know, any kind of deck that you want to use. I think this is going to expand your readings if you like to do oracle cards on top of tarot cards like I like to do. So going with the deck, same thing, the you know, it's got like that linen sag, like that bag feeling to it, that sag bag or that linen bag. Very thick where, you know, it's not going to stretch or anything. Came with that as well. So I did the same thing. I cut that open just a little bit so we don't have any issues when we are recording. The tuck box too is like one of those, you know, like you can bend it once and then you can bend it twice to easily get the cards out. I really like that. I think that's a really cool style. The front has some gold foil to it as well, just like the other one did. The colors are very similar. So this is the Supra. You got the back, little texture, gold texture on that, little shiny. And then here is the Oracle deck. So I have it upside down. All right. So again, we have the Seeker, so I'm not really sure what would happen if I pull out the Seeker in the Tarot deck and then the Seeker in the Oracle. But these are a little bit more, I think, on the black and white side of things. Yeah. The cards themselves are also still the same kind of cardstock, linen, very bouncy, a little bit bigger. I'm pretty sure, like, when it comes to the tarot deck, yeah, the Oracle deck is the same size as the tarot deck. So that's good to know. And then as you can see, the tarot deck has color and the Oracle deck is just a black and white. But I will say that, like, the color is more of like an ivory. I wouldn't say it's white. It's like ivory and black and some gray in there. Those are the backs of them. So here you have Aether, Air. So we're going to have all the elements to it. Which that's kind of cool when it gives like a little symbol. Okay, that's fire. Okay, besides Earth, like I don't know what those hand movements are. The Unconscious, Moon. For some reason, this deck to me just feels very, very magical. It feels like I have to read up on this because I honestly think that it's going to give me a very deep, dark reading. I like to be honest in my readings. I like to be someone that is brutally honest in my readings. And I think that this might actually just kind of bring things to the next level of being like brutally honest. Imagination, everydayness. So it's really cool. Like, I'm glad that they offer a guidebook. This wasn't a pretty overly expensive deck like a lot of decks that I have gotten in the past. But they are, I mean, it is still going to be pricey. I mean, I've bought some super pricey decks and they haven't even came in the mail yet. But, I mean, I have purchased some decks where I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe I literally just spent, I mean, one deck that I haven't even got in yet, I think I spent like 180 USD on just one deck. I don't know why I did. I love the Nothing card. I love the Nothing card. That is very similar to the old style tarot. I actually also created a Nothing card in my Oracle deck that I'm creating myself. I love that because that tells me that there is nothing that needs to be shown or seen or heard or known. It is just, it's the card of, that's it. That's all you get. You don't get any more information. The universe just wants you to go your own way and, you know, come back in a couple months and we'll figure it out. But it's just such a I love the Nothing card. I really do. I mean, sometimes you have like those people that are like, well, how about this situation? Or how about that situation? Okay, so it looks like we have very similar cards. I guess kind of similar meanings as well, but separate. But Impasse. I think this guidebook, with all of the information that's giving you, I think it's really going to give you that deep reading that you want to be able to give people. This deck is just so unique in its own way, and I love every minute of it. I just think it's so cool. Magic. See, some of these cards, I can already, you know, have an idea of what they mean, but I'm sure the guidebook, I mean, use your intuition, but I'm sure the guidebook is just there to, again, guide you through different meanings. So obviously they want you to use your intuition and use the cards, or look at the creation of the cards and go your own way. So there is a little bit of color in there. I see some color, which is nice. That's a little different. I went to a fossil crystal gem convention the other day, and they were selling a lot of these, which I actually have one myself right here. Super cool, right? I think I got this on Etsy. But I will definitely put the link down below to this artist's website. I think this is such a unique deck to have. I think this is so unique in its own way. I think that this is going to really get you into like the Marseilles and Rider-Waite-Smith style. So I definitely think that is really, really going to expand a lot of people's knowledge in this. And well, this is what I have for you. This is the tarot and unique or oracle deck from Uusi. I'll put all the information down in the description box. Please like, follow, and subscribe my channel so you can stay updated on later videos, and we'll hope to see you on the next one. Bye, guys.